For my project, I researched fur. A common misconception is that hair and fur are different, but actually they are the same thing. Hair grows in a three-phase cycle: anagen, catagen, and telogen. During the anagen phase, the hair grows. Catagen is the phase where the hair stops growing, and telogen is where the hair rests and then begins to fall out. For humans, the anagen phase lasts anywhere from 2 to 7 years. On some animals, this stage is shorter. Therefore, they reach the telogen stage faster, and hair falls out before it can get too long. This describes why human hair seems so much longer than animal hair. Fur consists of two main layers. Ground hair is the bottom layer. When you're drawing ground hair, you will draw it short, flat, dense, and curly. Ground hair is there to keep the animal warm and to keep the body temperature regulated. You usually will not see ground hair on an animal because guard hair lies on top of it. But ground hair does affect how thick and puffy an animal's coat appears because there is more ground hair on animals that live in colder environments. Guard hair is the top layer of fur. It is coarser and straighter. It has all the pigment in it, so it is the color that the animal appears. Guard hair is there to protect the ground hair. Fur is used for thermoregulation. For example, animals that live in the Arctic, such as polar bears, have hollow guard hairs. This helps keep them warm. Fur also has different uses. It can be used for camouflage. For example, an Arctic fox will be brown during the spring and white during the winter. So if you're drawing an animal whose environment changes with the seasons, it's likely that their fur changes as well. Fur can also be used as a sensory function. For example, the whiskers on a cat are enlarged hairs that are connected to the cat's brain. Fur can also be used for defensive and offensive protection. Porcupine quills are enlarged hairs. It is also for communicative displays such as the stripes on a skunk, which alert animals to stay away. Hair color is determined by a pigment called melanin. There are two types. Eumelanin makes hair brown, black, and dark blonde. Pheomelanin makes hair red. Blonde hair is caused by having little pigmentation in the hair strand, and gray hair is caused when melanin production decreases. Since these are the main pigments in fur, fur ranges from black to sandy to red. If you're drawing realistic animals, these are the colors you would use. If you want to make an animal with brighter colors, there is a low chance that that animal would have fur, or just have fur alone, because fur is usually pigmented with melanin, and most animals are incapable of making pigments in other colors. Colors like bright red and bright yellow are usually due to an animal's inability to synthesize pigments other than melanin. For example, flamingos, cardinals, and goldfinches are brightly colored because they cannot synthesize carotenoid pigments. Flamingos eat shrimp that eat red algae, which contains carotenoid pigments. Since the shrimp and the flamingo cannot break down carotenoid pigments, then the flamingo becomes pink. But take note that flamingos have feathers and not fur. Bright blue and green are caused by structural effects. The structure scatters light and makes it appear luminescent. For example, the pigment of a peacock feather is brown, but it appears blue and green to the eye because of its structure. Be aware that fur that is a certain color due to pigments such as melanin, or pigments due to the things that the animal eats, will mostly appear that color in any angle. But feathers and coats that are colored through structural scattering will appear different to the eye as the viewer's position changes or as the animal moves, because the light affects it more drastically. So if you're animating a peacock walking around, its feathers will tend to change colors. If you want to know more about fur, you should check out my model sheet. There I talk about the fur of animals in different environments. Thanks for watching.